There are too many puns with this beer. There are too many off-color jokes. Not gonna happen. Hello, Mark. I've got an interesting one for you today. It is not long after Lent. It's coming into the Easter season. Spring is upon us. And of course, that means it's time for the box. And even better, it's time for the doppelbocks. Today, I have Dominator by Oso Brewing out of Plover. We know these people and we've been there and we've had many of their beers. This is their doppelbock. I've never seen this before, but apparently it's been around for a while. This one they use decoction for the brewing method. Basically what they do is as they're running the malt, they will take part of that malt out, they'll bring it to a boil, and they'll put that back in. Now this was pretty common when people didn't really have thermometers or reliable ones. So they would use that to get the mash to certain temperatures. And there's a big long process, won't go into it. Instead, what I'm going to do is simply say that this is an 8.1%. Doppelbock, strong bock, double bock, that's what it means. I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm just going to open it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now, I have not had this one before. I've had a couple of bocks so far this season. Let's pour it. Now, one of the things that decoction process does is it breaks down the cell walls on the malt. It lets out these melanoids. And what that does is gives it a nice red color. And you can see it's a pretty red. So that is kind of what we're looking for in a bock anyway. This one is not disappointing. And you can see that nice head on it. I was a little iffy on the pour. Wasn't sure how I was going to do it. I just kind of went for it. Which you do. Let's stick a nose in it. Bready, instant bready, which is what I kind of want out of a doppelbock. I want that richness. Some sweet notes there. A little hint of brown sugar. But it's not strong. Meh. Let's go in for a taste. So immediately there's that rich caramely toffee flavor to it. There's a little bit of like a wheat toast coming with that. The sweetness isn't cloying, and they shouldn't be in a doppelbock. Yeah, it's carried really well, and as I'm sitting here, sitting with it, it's doing its job. Yeah, so there's that sweetness just plays right into everything. That's one of the nice things about doppelbocks is that they have that heartiness to it that also carries along that sweetness. The malty backbone is just perfectly present in this. It's not as heavy a malt flavor as I'm used to, so I'm not sure how many doppelbocks I've had with that process done to them. Sometimes it's not even done in dark beers. It can be done. It's done in beers like Pilsner, Iroquois, and that kind of thing. So a lot of Czech beers. What would be interesting is to do the beerschtockle on this. And for those of you who don't know, we take a poker and we stick it in a fire, and we get it nice and red hot, and then stick it into the beer, which in old days used to actually be a way of warming beer. That was a thing that people liked. But it also adds a carameliness to it. So you can put it in there for just a couple of seconds, and what you end up with is just caramelizing all those sugars and kind of giving it a pillowy, kind of marshmallowy flavor in there. And usually 2-3 seconds won't warm the beer. We're going to cover that in depth later. This is good just as it is. These can be a little heavy and a little overbearing, and even with a name like Dominator, it isn't carrying the show away. This is going to go on the top of the list of some of my favorite doppelbocks, honestly. Not quite the Munich style that you'd want out of a traditional doppelbock necessarily, but at the same time, this is very solid, works beautifully well, and Oso is doing oh so fine a job. So that is Dominator by Oso Brewing. If you're into bocks, this is a really good one to try. I'm so happy I've got 3 more of these, although I think you and I are going to end up trading a little bit, Mark. I can tell you might want one of these. So, until next time, hey, for the rest of you, if you would be so kind, hey, subscribe, hit that bell so you know when we put stuff up, and stay in touch. Catch us on the podcast. That's at driftlessdrinks.com. And hey, make sure that you catch us next time right here on our YouTube channel. Until then, Mark, I hope you're well. I hope you're happy. And all of you out there, I wish you all the best. And be sure to drink good beers. Poker? I hardly knew her.